him, or I don't know. Yeah. He's doing well. It happened for him. He just had to mature a little bit, you know. Wasn't ready. What are we waiting to see?
Because we've had many people come visit us here from Dutch coaches, professional players, Chris Harmers, Yura, and lots of players. This is one of the players a local player from our area that actually as a kid, when he was transferred between San Diego State and UCLA, came to one of the camps and actually trained on this field for a week or so. He was very young. He was a player from this area that went to UCLA, went out to play with Kansas City in the MLS, went out to play for the World Cup team in the United States on several occasions. We'll tell you about it. And ended up his career with the Chivas. Let's give a nice and easy welcome to Mr. Conrad.
Thanks, guys. Thank you to Sharif. He's right. I probably played here more than 1 week. But I do remember going to his camp and I grew up in Temple City. I don't know how far, but if you guys know where that is, about 10 minutes from here. Usually when I say Temple City, nobody has any ideas, so I say Pasadena, actually, of all places. Like Sharif said, I grew up here, went to high school at TC. Didn't get recruited out of high school. Had to cold call colleges to say, hey, give me a chance. Ended up going to San Diego State for 2 years. Coach had never seen me play, gave me a half scholarship. I don't know how that works. But I went there, didn't actually have the best experience, but played for 2 years in Division I. And then I called Ziggy Schmidt, who's now the coach of Seattle Sounders. And he was the coach of UCLA. I know it's cold to make this brief. And he said, we'll get you into school, but I'm only going to give you 1 week to try out to make the team. I said, I'm in. I'll go for sure. So I made the team after 1 week. I was the first freshman to start, or first walk-on to start since Kobe Jones. And then my senior year, I won the national championship at UCLA. I thought for sure there was 5 seniors during that national championship run that were on the team, and the other 4 guys got drafted, and I didn't. So that was another blow to the ego. I thought for sure after the national championship I'd make it into MLS. Well, I didn't. So I went to the A-League for a little while, played 30 games in 6 months. Played against Toluca and Necaxa down to the Mexican League. Got some really good experience. Then got called up, played for San Jose for 4 years, won MLS Cup in 2001, which was Landon Donovan's first year when he had the blonde hair and was a 17-year-old punk. He's my buddy now, I can say that. And then I went to Kansas City, played for 8 years, became an MLS All-Star for 5 straight years, made the World Cup team, MLS Defender of the Year, and ended up finishing up here with Chivas last year. Retired due to concussions. I had a lot of concussions. Broke my jaw a few times. Clint Dempsey broke my jaw. You might know who Clint Dempsey is. He's one of my teammates on the national team, and had a pretty good run, I guess is the way to say it. I think what benefited me a lot was people telling me I wasn't good enough. That fueled me to try to get better, and because I didn't know why it was fair for somebody that really couldn't pick a soccer ball to tell me I wasn't good enough, right? If they couldn't play, then why, who were they to tell me that I couldn't do it? And you run into a lot of those people at a lot of different things along the way. And so every time somebody told me I wasn't good enough, I'd ask them what I wasn't good at. They said, well, your left foot isn't very good. So I'd go home and I'd work on my left foot, work on my left foot, work on my left foot, until they couldn't say that anymore. And they say, all right, well, your left foot's pretty good now. How about your first touch? It's not very good. I said, no problem. So I went home and I figured out how am I going to get my first touch better. So I ended up seeing Eddie Lewis, who played for the national team for a long time. These names probably don't mean too much to you little guys. And I saw Eddie Lewis working with a tennis ball machine at a club. So he was firing tennis balls over to himself and he was trapping them. Or he'd volley them across the fence. We'd do all this stuff. I said, I can do that. That'll probably help my first touch. So I bought a tennis ball machine. And I worked on tennis ball. I juggled with a tennis ball. And if you guys juggle with a tennis ball, then after you do that for a while, you juggle with the soccer ball looks like a balloon. You guys ever juggle with a balloon? And how slow it is and how easy it is? Well, that's what it looks like after you juggle with a tennis ball for a long time. So every time somebody told me I wasn't good enough, they said, hey, you're not fast enough. Well, then I figured out a way to try to get a little bit quicker. Oh, you're not strong enough. So I got to the point where they couldn't tell me about anything, that I wasn't good at anything. I had it all covered. And I'm like, well, then you got to give me an opportunity. So most guys get a chance with the national team when they're 20, 21, 22. They try to make it a youth thing. I didn't get my first cap for the national team until I was 28. 1 year later, I started in a World Cup game against Ghana. And I played against Italy in the 2006 World Cup. So I actually appreciate all those guys that told me I wasn't good enough, because I don't know if it would have pushed me to get to where I wanted to go. So what I want to tell you is, it doesn't matter what size you are, it doesn't matter what big you are. If you really want it, you want to make it happen, you can make it happen. It's up to you to decide what you want to do and what you want to do with it. That's my story. So, everybody with me still? Yeah? All right. So now, part 2 of why I'm here, outside to say hello and see Sharif. I'm running a soccer camp after Christmas. Just real quick, a plug. It's December 27th through the 30th, 2 hours a day. We'll separate the young guys from the old guys. Have a bunch of kids coming out. It's going to be fun. A lot of good stuff. A lot of the same stuff that I'm talking to you now. I'm just going to show you the tricks of what it takes to get better, and I think you can gain a lot from it. You get a ball, a shirt, and a cinch bag, all from Adidas. And the best player in my camp will get a brand new pair of F-15 Predators, or one of my jerseys, their national team or Chivas. Okay, so there's a lot of things there that try to make it fun. Reasonably priced, 110 bucks, 8 hours of instruction, a lot of good stuff. That's it. That's my spiel. I got flyers. I'll make sure you get handed out if you guys are interested. And that's it. Now I'm going to open up to questions after I did my professional spiel. You guys have any quick questions about why I'm awesome, why my hair looks good? Okay, I'm also, I do some stuff now that I've retired. I do stuff on Fox Soccer, so sometimes you see me on TV calling some games. I do some Champions League stuff and MLS stuff. And that's it. I'm also the general manager of the Chivas USA Youth Academy. So if you're good, I'll probably hear about it. And if you're not, then you have plenty of time to figure it out, and I'll probably still hear about you at some point. So I thought maybe with like 50 people here, I'd get one question, but it's cool.
Yeah, I got one for you.
Okay, shoot.
Real quick, what was that like, brother, when you got the call that you made the World Cup to go to Germany? Did you have an inkling? I mean, what was that like? I know me and Bruno were calling your phone and it was blowing up.
So I got a story. So like I mentioned with Landon Donovan, I was a really good friend of his, and he was in with Bruce Arena, the head coach of the national team at the time. And so we were texting back and forth, and I just assumed he had more information about the team than I did. I was a little bit more on the outside looking in, and he's Landon Donovan, so he's the golden boy. So he texted me about 10 minutes before the roster comes out for the World Cup, and he goes, "Hey, I got some good news." And I'm thinking, sweet, what is it? So I go, "What is it, man? What do you got? What do you got?" He's like, "I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico." What a jerk. I never wanted to punch him so bad in my whole entire life. So I ended up making the team. He knew, but he wanted me to hear it. For whatever reason, Bruce wanted to make it exciting and do it over SportsCenter. So I found out via SportsCenter. Actually, the first person to call me was Yura Movsisian. I think you guys are familiar with Yura.
Yura came over.
He was one of my teammates in Kansas City for a few years, and so he was the first guy to jump on it and call me and say congrats. I always remember that. So it was a good time, and it actually was a good moment for me to kind of just I don't know how to even say this, just to kind of give a, I don't even know, it's a little picture. Yeah. But to just say that I did it to all the coaches I said I couldn't, all the guys that didn't believe in me along the way. It was a good moment for me just to say that I did. Of course, once you get on the World Cup team, which is an awesome achievement, you're in camp for about a month before you actually go over to the destination, and you think, it'd be kind of cool to play. I've been watching Brian McBride and Landon Donovan try to run past me all the time, and DeMarcus Beasley and Clint, Michael Bradley. It'd be kind of cool to actually step on the field, because this makes it worth it. So we ended up getting 2 red cards in that game against Italy, and I came on as a sub, played the last half, and then started against Ghana, and I'll tell you, it made it worth it. All the hard work and all the disappointment that you feel along the way, there's going to be some good moments in your future. You just have to stick with it and believe in what you're doing and what you're about.
Cool.
So that's it. Thanks, guys.
So you'll be with us very close, because he has friends in the program with us, CZLE. Temple City is very close to us, so we'll be around hopefully for a long time.
Yeah, I'll definitely come back out. This isn't just a one-time thing. I like to brainwash America's youth, so however way I can do that.
What's his name again?
Conrad.
Yeah, I got my shirt.
Conrad.
Open him up and see how big this guy is. We're all the way here to see you. And to say hello to everybody. Because we will more competition from me. I will
No. Always.
Have a nice hand, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Can we get one group photo with you guys?